So your DC fast charging is right here on the bonnet. That charge is a 35.5 kilowatt hour battery, good for 137 miles of range or 220 kilometers. This is the brand new Honda E. In this advanced spec, it's the car that'll be up against other models like the Fiat 500 electric and the electric Mini. In this spec, this is the advanced version. It has a single motor on the rear axle, a 113 kilowatt motor, equivalent to about 152 horsepower. The price around 40,000 euros. So the Honda E is based on a pure EV platform. The motor, the transmission, they're on the rear axle, whereas if we go to the front of the car, this is where the charging socket that we saw earlier is located, in the middle of the bonnet. How heavy is this? Well, the weight of this advanced version, it's got 17-inch rims, comes in at around 1,500 kilograms. It does look like something coming from a science fiction film from the 1970s or 1980s, but it's actually even more reminiscent of the past. If you go back a little bit further, the design of this is inspired by those Honda small box city cars of the past, like the N360 or even the very first Civic. Well, this car has plenty of charm. These very clean lines around the front. The car has very small overhangs. The wheels push to the very four corners of the car. This tempered glass over the charging socket, very stylish. The retractable handles. The mirror inside is a camera. And the side mirrors, well, they're cameras as well. So here is the side profile, the full profile of the Honda E. What I like are these retractable handles and the side mirrors, or cameras. As for what I don't like from this angle, well, basically nothing. Alright, let's go inside and have a look. You can see these high door handles, a bit like the Renault Zoe electric. You can see here a pretty wide door opening and a pretty high opening as well if you're tall to climb inside. So here's a first sign that this is designed for the city, to be ease of use, of getting in and out of the back, as well as the driving. Okay, let's climb in and have a look. Now the Honda E is only classified as a four-seater, so you're only allowed two people in the back of the car, and that might put some people off, even though when you are in the back, it's very nice. It feels like you're in your living room or your lounge. With the driver's seat set for my height, plenty of room for your back passengers with knee room, and also for your feet as well. Let's check out the front. This is what a born electric car is all about. Designed from the ground up to be an EV. No central tunnel down the middle. Plenty of power sockets as well for USB, for your 12-volt cigarette lighter, and even on this model, a 230-volt socket as well to plug in your laptop. The infotainment system is quick to touch, very responsive, and it feels like the cross between a smartphone and a tablet. This screen going almost the width of the car looks really nice. Here can be a fish tank or even the cherry blossoms. These dual screens you can manage either as the driver or the passenger. The touchscreen is fast and intuitive, but you also get physical buttons as well. Not too many, but just enough to give you those physical controls. These nice wooden inserts look good as well. But the whole environment, very high-tech, very high quality, and very nice to be inside. Some nice storage touches as well. And what about the mirrors? There aren't any. You get cameras, and the layout is perfect, as is the adjustment of how they work. Okay, let's take this Honda E Advance for a drive. First impressions are really good. What we like is the power, instant power delivery with this being an EV. And the instantness of that power gives you confidence under acceleration as well. Perhaps a small minus of the car is the feel of the brake pedal. That's not so good. That'll be to do with the way that the physical brakes and the regen are working together. But what I do really like is this small, two-spoke, sporty steering wheel. Steering feels very progressive and gives you loads of feedback when you're driving. The steering, very direct, and when you apply the power, that arrives very linear as well, so you can really control the car both in steering and acceleration too. But at the same time, when you are slowing down, you can feel the different ways the regen is working. This is in standard mode at the moment. But there is just one button to turn that into one-pedal driving, which will increase the strength of the regen and give you that extra stopping power when you let off the accelerator. And it really changes the character of the car as well, perfect for driving around in the city. You can feel it, but you can also see on the dashboard the regen force that increases in one-pedal driving. On the other hand, if you disengage the one-pedal driving and just rely on the normal levels of regen, if you are driving around with plenty of corners, you'll find yourself having to use the brake pedal a bit more and modulate the speed that way, which, if you're driving around the city, may be a little bit more hard work than you really want. However, one thing that I really like about this Honda E is this, the mirror, or rather the camera. Now, it may be the first time you're using cameras for mirrors, but you find it very natural, and as you can see on the screen of the camera, the mirror, you can see these guidelines, and that makes it much easier to start to judge where you're placing the car and even how close the car following you is. Actually, it's a very simple solution, but at the same time, it's a genius piece of design and engineering. As for the instrument panel, well, it is very easy to use at least this one that's close to you, but the other screen, well, that is too distant for you to touch. That's definitely for the passengers only. So here she is, the Honda E, after our test drive. What do we like? Well, it's really fun to drive and very sporty around the city. If you love design, you love style, it's the kind of ambience that's very, very cool. And last but not least, when you get out of the car and look over your shoulder as you're walking away, you can't help but adore this design. Absolutely stunning. So, what don't we like from the Honda E? Well, it is only a two-seater, so a bit of lack of space in the back for 3 people, also not much room for luggage either, and the range does fall behind its rivals. Remember to comment below and let us know what you think about the Honda E.